On one hand, you have Sonny dangling off a cliff, and on the other hand, you have Kellen dangling off a cliff. Who do you save?
I think Kellen would be insulted if I didn't pick him. And I think Sonny would accept okay, that's fair.
Sonny was like, okay, fine.
Unless Sonny's editing this, in which I would see if Sonny, of course.
Yeah, of course. Put a little FNAF hooray sound.
All right, Veronica, I want to ask you something. I want to start this off by asking Veronica a question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, we have this room here, this lovely recording room that we're filling out with more stuff each day, even though we need a lot more.
Yeah, we do.
But one thing we need is a wider lens, because in the corner over here, there's this big Sonic the Fighters arcade cabinet. Put a photo of it on screen. I always wanted to have that in the shot, turned on. We were going to ask Tomar maybe if he could get the sign removed.
The audio is really, really loud.
It's really loud,
and,
yeah.
Sometimes it gets super loud, and sometimes it's really, really quiet.
So I wanted to have that kind of on, because it kind of fits with the cool lights thing got going on here. But then if we were to do that, then this corner over here is looking very empty.
True.
And recently we were going to fill up that space with a giant Lego Shaggy outfit, which is exactly what you think it is. It is a giant.
It is quite literally a giant Lego Shaggy.
It's if you were to go to Legoland and see people dressed up in outfits, it would look like a Shaggy version of that. But the guy, alas, wouldn't sell it to me for anything under $1,200.
See, yeah, the listing was going for what? Yeah, $1,500. And Jane found this and sent it to Mark. Yeah. And was like, hey, Mark, you should buy this.
Yeah, and I messaged the guy saying, hey, would you do $200? And he was like, sure. Where do you live? When can you get it by? So we sorted all that stuff out, and I was like, so 200's good, yeah? And he was like, yeah, stick a 1 on the at the start of that, and we'll have a deal.
Mark said, can I ask for 200, And he goes, put it in a birthday card, give it, and you have yourself a deal.
Yeah, something like that.
Like as if he's like, oh, you're fucking me.
Screwed on that. Then earlier today, I didn't even tell Veronica this, I find for around 200, which is what I wanted to pay, I find this statue. It was a Homer Simpson statue that would dance and sing.
That sucks.
And I was like,
that sucks. I don't want that in my home.
No, that's fair. And I was like, that's really dumb. I wonder if he would let me have that. And then he was like, sure, you can have it for 200. But then I got 200. But then whenever he said that, I was like, maybe not. Maybe not a giant Homer Simpson statue.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that in our house.
So then
that sucks.
I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, which I love now. I never used it before.
Okay, can I also just say Mark goes through these minor obsessions.
Yeah.
At first it was like, I showed him Craigslist, and that just blew his mind away. And so now he started going on Craigslist finding deals. But then he realized, I can find garage sales on Craigslist. So we started going to garage sales for a while.
For 3 weeks in a row.
And then it got to a point where Mark was like, this woman is selling this storage container full of a bunch of stuff, and it's for $500. Should I get it?
And then sell it all.
Which also, Mark bought a bunch of stuff that we still haven't sold. But
I'm busy.
But it is really cool going to these thrift stores and going to these garage sales and finding cool and neat stuff the Benson.
Yeah, you can't really see it very well. This
we have a
little
little
machine we find.
I got to make a face for him.
And so, fitting with the theme, it would look perfect. I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, and every time you open the app, it's a different selection of stuff. It's a random thing based on some algorithm of what you could like.
Because I don't have a Facebook. I haven't had a Facebook for years.
Yeah. So let's see. If I were to go on my Facebook Marketplace, and I'll take a screenshot so you guys
let's see what it is.
Can see what it is. So we have a cool old Spyro the Dragon pinball table is the first. And it's kid sized, but it's standing.
I had a swap meet once.
Oh, really?
Look at all the little Mickey Mouse stickers.
I know, there's stuck stickers all over. I'll take pictures of all this stuff. Yeah. Let's see. What else have we got?
Yeah, what else do they have?
Vending machine, a bunch of games.
What kind of vending machine? Like a Pepsi vending machine?
Pepsi, Coke, off-brand ones. Vintage Simpsons cards, Lego stuff, old video games, old arcade games and stuff.
That's all Mark.
Just all great stuff.
Collectibles and video games.
And an hour ago, I was checking it just because whenever I'm bored on it, it's checking Twitter. It's I'll see what's on Facebook Marketplace, which is not healthy.
Really? I didn't know you were this into Facebook Marketplace.
I just 2 days ago, because of Gian.
It's because of Jane.
Gian, it's your fault. And I saw something that would, I think, complete the room.
Let me see. What the fuck is... No, we're not getting this for our... We have 2 Sonic arcade cabinets in our home, and he wants to put a 3rd one in our home. We have a 2-bedroom apartment, dude. Like 3 Sonic arcade cabinets here, dude.
I know.
Also, wait a minute. This is your corner. That's my corner.
What do you want?
I don't know. Maybe
she never offers anything.
I didn't think I had it. I didn't think that I had to figure it out yet.
I've just been thinking, you know. So okay,
another Sonic arcade cabinet.
You can have your corner. It was just such a deal. Okay, so know what it was?
Wait, how much was it for?
He let me have it for 300.
How big is it?
It's a spinner game. You know, like it wouldn't be as big as the ones you find at like.
How would it fit in that corner?
It would fit in the corner about as well as that does, although thinner.
You won't be able to open that sliding door to see your Sonic stuff.
I could live with that. But if you want that corner, I understand.
I do kind of want. I don't have a corner in here.
Okay, yeah, that can be your
You
corner.
have literally 2 corners. I don't. I only have possibly one that you're trying to put another Sonic arcade cabinet in. Okay.
No.
You literally got the best corner of the office.
You wanted the one against you. She wanted her computer facing this. But
I wanted this to be the backdrop.
Yeah.
But I would have taken a corner. Everyone would take a corner office. Come on.
She never once expressed interest in getting the corner.
No, you don't know what it is. He called dibs, and I couldn't say anything. I want this. This is where I'll put my desk. That's what I think that was the exact words you said.
Yeah, from a year ago. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that because I was like, damn, he knew. He knew. Yeah. He knew that was a good spot.
So there was a perfectly fine corner there you could have taken.
You know, but I wanted to be like, next to you. I would have ruined it. Imagine having a long
backdrop.
I wanted to be, it would have been nice. I also did want the backdrop.
You know those like spinner games where you come up to the little wheel and you spin it and it goes around?
Do you manually spin it? I thought you press a button and it spins.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's one of those ones, which means it's smaller,
like
probably.
A coin one, a coin machine.
Yeah, you put it in and you press the button to stop it on the number. And it was a Sonic Adventure one of those that has a little Sonic and a Tails in it that like spin around. And I saw one on Facebook Marketplace, and whenever I was planning on moving out to LA, like with friends, my plan was like, okay, we're gonna have a Sonic arcade room, and we're gonna find whenever we can, we'll just find every Sonic arcade and we'll just shove it in a room.
Rip the Jeffrey 6.
Yeah, and that's why I find the Sonic the Fighters. It was originally for that, and the other one I own. I'll put a picture here too.
Here.
And one of the ones I would always see is the Sonic spinner thing for like $1,000 on eBay, and I was like, $1,000 for a spinner?
So how
game?
much was it for?
300, and it was I'll put an image on screen so I don't have to.
I'm trying to think of possibility. Look at him. He's kind of getting what he wants. He's smiling.
I'm trying
Look
to
at
think.
him. Look at him. Look
if you
at him.
want that corner, you can have it.
Look at him. This is how it always goes down. I do like deals. That is a good deal.
That is a good deal.
But just because it's a good deal doesn't mean we have to get it.
It was $400, and I talked him down to $300.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
I went into the podcast wanting to talk about this because I knew.
No idea.
I knew coming into it.
Dude,
when it's being filmed, Veronica has to entertain it for a bit.
Okay, let me just say, by the way, I had a dream once that Mark bought another arcade cabinet, and I got mad at him in my dream, and he gave me an ultimatum. In my dream, you gave me an ultimatum. It's me or the cabinets.
I wouldn't do that. I accepted long ago if you didn't want it, but okay. But
you don't understand how this psychologically too many arcade cabinets.
You don't
I'm
like
having
it?
dreams about it.
Yeah, are they bad?
When have you used that?
Anytime someone comes over,
anytime
it's a cool conversation piece.
Anytime you show someone our home.
Oh, it's more for the thing of owning a little bit of history, you know?
What about the other one? When do you use that one? The one that we put all of our shit on top of. Let me take a picture and show you.
That one's from 1991. That's the year Sonic came out. That's like a genuine, little fucking piece of Sonic, you know? We were at a theater near Veronica's hometown, and way off in the corner, covered in dust and dirt, they have an old Simpsons arcade cabinet, the 4-player one by Konami, which is really rare and really popular. And we put our name down, but it was another thing of do we get this?
We should call them.
They're not going to give it to us.
Dude, the guy was like, honestly, we don't know what to do with it.
He was like,
you know what it is? It was broken, and he was like, if you can fix it.
No, they said they didn't know if it was broken or working.
Oh.
They hadn't turned it on in years, is what they said.
Dude, there was only 3 places I know that had that arcade cabinet growing up. That place, the Disney Anaheim. Now it's called Anaheim Ice, but it was called Disney Ice when I was growing up, and I used to do figure skating there, and they had it there, and it was right next to Terminator pinball machine with the big giant like metal Terminator head, and I used to be so scared walking by because the Simpsons one had like the Treehouse of Horror level. Where everyone's like all scary and spooky. So I was like, this is a spooky corner.
That's weird.
And then the Blind Donkey in Long Beach, they have one.
I never had an arcade like this growing up. So what are
I don't think anybody did.
I never had an arcade as in the place growing up.
Gotcha.
And I always wanted to find one, and I never could. There's a fly in here. I never could find one. So it is part of that like I'm an adult. I get to buy the. I'm pointing at it more so than doing this. It's like I have the power to get the arcades that I want.
I suppose. Okay.
But I also understand that is a cry. Three's a cry.
Hear me out. If you buy it, you can put it in a storage container, and we can move it to Ireland whenever we move to Ireland.
Yeah, I was looking it up recently. Storage containers, pretty cheap.
They're really cheap.
Pretty cheap.
Like $20 a month.
Okay, so Veronica, I know we got a busy day tomorrow. For context, our friend Lee is coming into town. Might be the next week's podcast.
Secret narc for all of you guys who don't know. She's coming into town tomorrow.
And she comes into town in like the evening time. So if you wanted to go on like a morning adventure
tomorrow,
where it's located is kind of halfway between us and your parents' house.
Okay. Okay, we'll bleep that out.
And the guy was like, "Hey, if you want it, it's here."
How are we gonna take it?
Don't worry. I thought of everything.
Tell me your plan.
We would when we got a TV, we couldn't fit it in our car, so we just rented out a U-Haul for like the afternoon. We rent out a U-Haul, we grab it, we take it up to a storage unit, we sit it in, and then we come and we relax for a couple hours, and then we get Lee.
He also is not considering that I have to do not only our laundry together, but I have to wash all of our towels and our sheets and the guest sheets for Lee and go to LAX and pick up Lee during rush hour traffic.
That's fine. And see, I understand that. So if you want to say no.
You know what? Okay. If you want that to happen, we need to get quarters tonight so I can do the laundry tonight.
Sure.
That is the only thing hanging me up tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay,
that's the deal. Guys, next podcast, you're going to see it in the corner. You
just
saw the
it's not in the corner. In a storage container.
In a storage unit,
no.
Guys. We will I'll take a photo of it, and I will key it behind. I will put it behind there in the corner.
Here's a picture of Mark with a shit-eating grin because he got what he wanted, but he doesn't get the corner. So
that's
we both
fine.
Win.
You can have the corner.
We both win. Now, I never considered what to do with my corner. I spent all this time arranging all of this as why.
All of what? Oh, the hedges.
All of this.
Yeah, we got a thing recently, old Target shelf, and we should. Okay, guys. Okay, so
have
recently,
you noticed anything on our
shelf?
Yeah, have
you noticed anything recently? We went to SockCon.
It was not sock on. Sock on these nuts, dude.
We went to Midsummer Scream.
Friday night
Screams.
The museum, and it was pretty cool because Kellen Goff.
Yeah, we only went for Kellen. Yeah. If you don't know, guys, Kellen's the voice of
Glam Rock
Slenderman. So we went down to meet him, and as we were walking around, we were like, and then we looked and we said, and then we saw this little jigsaw.
This jigsaw right here. Oh shit!
What?
I threw away the bag that has the car. Oh no! You know what? I have to shout this guy out.
Okay, if you want to get like a good look at this, whoa, it's kind of awesome. So the guy told us they're all custom made. He 3D prints like the tricycle and the head, and then his wife, he says, handcrafted all the clothing. So it looks really cool. I'm glad it was something like this and not like a shitty like official action figure. Because this looks, oh my god, I'm looking at the underside now and I'm seeing all the glue under him. Okay. No, I never look at that. Look at the glue.
I know, I noticed that yesterday.
If you guys are new to the podcast, we always
ask our editor.
Yeah, to put a little jigsaw in the corner. Now we have a little jigsaw, not in the corner, but in the room.
Kind of in the corner.
See, look, now we can do our own little gags with him, or instead of the like this saves so much editing time. Look. See, wasn't that so much better?
Here, let me hold this little man. Oops, I fucked
Yeah, you give them the promotion.
Guys, This was made by a husband and wife, and their company is called Spoopy Ghouls Creations. Handmade Spoopy Ghouls Creations. I'll put a little picture of it.
Sign up today.
They make custom orders, and if you guys want their email for any inquiries, it's spoopyghouls3@gmail.com.
Wait a second. Did you say spoopyghouls3@gmail.com? But yeah, no, we also, I don't know, we just put a bunch of other shit there. We need to get more lights so it's more visible, but we got a little Liberty Chica up there. We got that Baldy.
We got the Commander Riker.
The signature from the Among Us creator.
We got Doug.
We got Doug, Jasper.
Burger King Doug.
Cool Death Egg Lego that I built earlier.
Jimmy Timmy Power Hour 2, the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour 1, and Abracatastrophe all on VHS, right next to the little Mark U2s.
And then just a bunch, yeah, so we're going to fill it out with a bunch of junk.
Yeah, we also have my dead dog Tito.
R.I.P.
Little guy.
So yeah, guys, if you have any suggestions for cool stuff, we can put. You know what? I wish they made like a Steve Smith action figure.
You know what? That exhausted me.
What?
That exhausted me.
So you're allowed to say Baba Booey, but you wouldn't want like.
You said Baba Booey.
You always said Baba
Booey. That's what I said.
And then she stole Baba Booey from me.
From you? Oh, shut up.
I think I coined that phrase.
You wish, dude. That's a gooner phrase.
So
okay, wait. I have a proposition for you.
Okay, sure.
Okay. If we want cool stuff on here, we gotta open up a PO box.
I would like to open up a PO. I've never had one before.
So you know what? Let's go to the mail place, the place of post office. Let's go to the post office.
Yeah, the mail
too.
place.
And we'll get a
PO box, and you guys can send us fun stuff.
Look,
like bombs.
This is the PO box. And in the event that we forget to get a PO box because we're picking up Lee tomorrow, here's a picture of Stan Smith.
No, Steve Smith.
Steve Smith.
Okay, that's all the housework out of the way. All the
the housework.
That's all. What's it called? Housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
What's it called?
Homemaking.
Metaphorically, or it's like a little update. You know what's going on in the
Veronica
lives.
and Markland.
Yeah, we're
Wenchland, Wenchtopia.
Yeah. Saw X, the trailer came out recently, and we are excited. It
dude,
looks fun.
It actually has a fucking cool story where these people deserve to be put in Saw traps.
Yeah. So context, we talk about Saw all the time because
hence the Jigsaw.
Yeah, because around the time we were recording the first batch of episodes was the summertime.
We went
for
on
the
a
podcast.
Big Saw binge.
Yeah, we were binging them. So we just became genuine fans of it because we brought it up so much. And so now, like, our ironic excitement for Saw X has turned into unironic excitement because now it looks genuinely good. Yeah,
we're actually fans.
Yeah, we spent
genuinely
money on that.
Dude, and you know what? Mark didn't even tell me. Toby Keith or Tobin Bell. Tobin Bell was at the Midsummer Freakout Friday nights.
I know they had a Saw.
They did. They had the little Saw
Comic-Con panel.
They had the little Saw exhibit at the little Friday night Summer Scream festival, and you could like walk through it, and they're like, oh, you can.
We will
yourself
AI
in a Saw
put you
trap.
on a Saw like a Snapchat filter.
Yeah,
it's AR
or augmented reality. Yeah. Tobin Bell was gonna be there. He could have signed our Jigsaw.
I would have wanted him to sign the forehead, but either way, I'm pretty happy with how it looks.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty like impressive. You can't even tell that it's 3D printed. Well, the tricycle you can, but not his head.
Yeah, the tricycle's like all polygonal, but it looks good. It looks. I was
like
saying
that.
earlier, it's not like an official thing.
Yeah.
It has that like handcraftedness to it.
Yeah, it does have a big charm to it. Mark, which Saw trap would you want to be in?
Which Saw trap?
Yeah.
Which one do I think I could feasibly escape from? You know what it is? I feel like they're all kind of rigged in a way. That was the thing that always bothered me about Saw traps, but it's like, I get it. Where they're all structured in a way where like, Jigsaw, also, by the way, if you're a genuine Saw fan, I know his name is not literally Jigsaw. Yeah, I feel like the thing is, it's always a thing where Jigsaw's like, you have 30 seconds to solve this. And it's like, I have to figure out what I have to do and then do it in 30 seconds. Where the person will be like trying to figure out what to do for like 20 seconds and they'll finally figure it out. And they'll be like, oh, I have to cut off my arm. And then they'll cut off their arm and then they'll grab the key, but their time will run out and they'll just explode. And it's like, you give them no time to think about it. How did they have any chance?
To be fair, he does explain it. He always has a tape that explains like the rules. There is always an explanation.
It's always like a fucking riddle.
That is not true. That's not true. He's like, inside you'll see the key is behind your eye. Cut out your eye, and then you will see.
Yeah, but you're expecting people to have, like, no... What's it called? Like, the flinching? Like,
no reaction?
Reaction where it's like, I don't want to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, fight or flight. So it's like, they have to get through that. And then there's like, the lady will stab her eye. She'll finally be like, okay, I have to do this. And she'll stab her eye and feel all that peeing. And it's irrelevant because it takes her too long to take the thing eye. Honestly, the one from the first movie seems the most straightforward. Just cutting off your leg.
The bear trap one?
Isn't it just cutting off your
just
mouth?
Cutting off. No.
Or cutting off your leg, sorry?
No.
They start in the bit.
They can cut off their leg, but they fucked up because when he opened the bathtub, the key left.
Down the drain?
Yeah, down the drain.
Oh, was that his fault?
Yeah. That was in the very beginning. That was like the plot twist, wasn't it?
That's the thing. The only one I have not seen all the way through is the first one because I fell asleep halfway through and didn't even realize, and I woke up during the credits.
So you would cut off your leg like Dr. Phil and point your feet into a 4.
yeah, fall back into a 4. Put that on screen in GIF form.
Yeah, put that at like 400% speed.
And then have it repeating there for like 20 seconds.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Why the scary movies are such
so
like
good.
a product of their time where you try to make one in like 2010 and it's like, what horror movie do you parody at this point? Like Scary Movie 5 with Ashley Tisdale. Like I think they parodied Mama, which was a popular movie at the time, or it was recent at the time, but I don't think it was popular. I remember I saw it and it wasn't that scary.
It's a movie about a cult.
Yeah,
much, yeah.
Where it's like they reference like that and like Cabin in the Woods, I'm pretty sure. And
what year was it? Was it when those movies came out? No. Yeah, I don't know. Was that when those movies came out? That's the one where Ashley Tisdale is fucking Charlie Sheen, right?
I don't know if Charlie Sheen's in that one. Doesn't he die in like 4?
He does die in 4. He falls off the cliff because he takes too many Viagra pills.
Scary
Put that clip up.
Scary Movie 5 was 2013.
Fuck, dude. That was 10 years ago.
When did Mama come out? Like 2013. So it's all movies from 2013. So yeah, that's the formula they got in. So yeah, but yeah, it's like the horror movies like of today, I don't think are anywhere near as iconic.
Insidious, Terrifier 2, maybe. Boogeyman.
Boogeyman's not. What's the memorable part of Boogeyman? As like an image or something like a parody about that in a scary movie versus like Scream, you know?
Yeah. We Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
And, like those kinds of movies too.
4 is when they got into like
3 is Alien or Signs. It's Signs in the Ring.
Yeah. 4 is disaster movies.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
4 is 4 is World of Worlds.
No, it's Saw.
No, it's an iPod.
It's Saw.
Oh, you're right. It is Saw.
And the Jigsaw's coming at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
And then that confused me as a kid. I vaguely remember seeing that as a kid and being like, what the fuck is this? I think that's what made me not afraid of Jigsaws, because I thought that was the actual movie.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq and Dr. Phil.
Yeah, well, I remember at the end where like the Jigsaws come in, there's like kind of like short people. And they're all walking around.
I don't think you could say that.
And they're short. I'm not saying anything. They were short compared to like the main actors, Anna Faris. And then Scary Movie 5 isn't really parodying one direct thing. What it is. It's parodying Paranormal Activity, but then they throw in all these other horror things. It's like Paranormal Activity mixed with like Mama and stuff like that.
I've never watched the 5th one.
It's like, oh, Ashley Tisdale has to like take in these 2 girls, I'm pretty sure. Who have been like living alone for ages or something like that, and the mom is like haunted, and is like coming to haunt them, mixed with Paranormal Activity, where she's putting cameras around her house to see what's going on. But what can you really do with that? And then they're just throwing all this other shit too, like just random horror movies here and there that were coming out around the time, just cause.
You know which one out of those, like from the producers of Scary Movie, you know?
Yeah.
Date movie.
Never seen it.
I love date movie.
I've only seen Disaster Movie and Epic Movie.
And Superhero Movie.
And Superhero Movie. I always forget that's from them. I haven't seen Superhero Movie in like 15 years.
We should watch that.
Sure. Drake Bell.
We should watch all of the scary movies and then Meet the Spartans.
All those movies.
I saw that in theaters. Meet the Spartans. That was so shit.
That would get so fucking mind numbing after a while. It would be funny.
The first 4 would be fine. Date movie would be fine. Superhero movie would be all right. Epic movie. Terrible. I've seen Epic Movie so many times.
I made a video on Disaster Movie years ago, and I was going to make a follow-up one a couple of years back on Epic Movie, and I sat down and I watched it and I took notes and I wrote like a page of the script, and I was like, there's nothing There's nothing to say about this movie. This is a movie that has no substance whatsoever.
You don't like the Willy Wonka scene?
No, that freaked me out as a kid.
You don't
that
like the
scared
Narnia
me.
scene?
No, that's
the Chipmunk scene.
That's a disaster movie.
That's a disaster movie, right?
But those movies would have so much stuff that would just like freak me out as a kid.
It was like too weird for you.
It's too weird. Like the Willy Wonka thing scared me. The weird like
with like the sexual dancing and like killing them at the same time.
Yeah, the Narnia stuff with the guy dresses the goat and he's like licking the beaver or something like that. And then they have like Jennifer Coolidge, which is like gross.
Oh, I love Jennifer Coolidge.
As a kid, I was like, because you know what it is? Veronica never understands why I have such a gross impression of her, but it is because my first exposure to her was from an Epic Movie where she's presented as this gross, like kind of old elderly lady who's really overly sexual and creepy. So that made me go like, oh, that lady, ugh.
Oh, I always associate her with Legally Blonde.
You look like the 4th of July. It makes me want a hot dog real bad.
We watched that recently.
We watched that with Gage.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I told Gage to come over to watch What Lies Beneath, and we ended up putting on Legally Blonde.
We've never watched that movie either.
It's a good movie, though.
What Lies Beneath?
No, well, that's a great movie.
That's what I'm saying. We never watched it.
No, yeah, we haven't still to this day. I always just want to go to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Why do you want to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's? What in particular? We played the Ruin DLC this week, as you would have saw from the video that went up earlier. If you watched it,
or if Sunny finished it,
or if Sunny finished it in time, it's all
contingent on Sunny.
On Sunny, but yeah, I feel like we never really got to like have much of a conclusion. But after like stepping away from it for a couple days and watching other people play it online and seeing the fan base get like really mad at people not liking it, it kind of just makes me go like. It makes me understand more why I'm like, oh, this was just like boring. It was better than the original Security Breach, but I feel like fans only really like it because it shows more of it's more of the characters and it's more lore and it's like expanding upon stuff and it's expanding upon stuff using content from the books, which is like tying it in like that's all good. But the gameplay itself was just like...
But as a game. Yeah, just as a game on its own.
Walking around doing the same two things over and over again.
It's lame. And the ending sucks.
Yeah,
all of the endings suck.
And I'm used to Five Nights at Freddy's games having like...
a cliffhanger bare minimum ending. Or something not really fully explained.
Yeah, I get that. But in a big game like this, where you're trying to do a story, and the game is all walking around and characters talking. So you're always being fed story. So you can't really do that ending where it just stops.
Leaves it up to interpretation or doesn't have any explanation to anything.
Yeah, when you feel like you don't know what happened. Like the
because
ending...
the initial premise of it is already vague enough.
Yeah.
What happened to everything is already vague enough.
That you don't also need to end on like what happened to the character.
Exactly.
Though. Because when... it's... And then it confuses things more by the previous game having a bunch of endings, like 7 or 8.
Yeah, Mark was telling me all about the different endings, and I'm like, I didn't even know Vanny was like the bad guy. I didn't even know, like, what? There's one where Vanny kills themselves, right? There's one where Gregory dies. There's one where...
There's one for every scenario you could think of. There's
but then
one
it's
where
like, what's...
Gregory and Freddy escaping in a van.
I like the idea of, like, a Bandersnatch type of thing where it's, like, a pick-your-own-adventure where, like, you know, the outcome that you get is based off of the decisions that you make. Like, I love that kind of stuff. But for something where it's kind of like a consistent story, it's like, what is the true and proper ending? What is the intended ending?
Yeah, and it doesn't work because you can have that kind of thing where it's like, well, whatever ending you get is the one that's real. And you can kind of theorize about that. But when you make a DLC continuation based on one of those I think it's the one where Gregory saves Vanny from... or Vanessa from being inside Vanny or being corrupted by the glitch trap or whatever. Yeah, when you have Ruin come out and people are like, oh, I guess that one's the official one. It's like, what's the point in any of these alternate endings if only one of them matters? And that's fine in a game where it's like a good ending, bad ending, even neutral ending. But in one where there's like 8 different ones.
It's like Shadow the Hedgehog.
It's like Shadow the Hedgehog where it's
like what's the real true ending?
Oh, shit, what happens to Shadow? Hero or villain? You decide. But he's actually a hero by the end. Like, so it's like...
so it's like you didn't really get to decide. You just kind of got the wrong ending.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
It feels like you got the wrong ending and you need to play it again to get more.
For Ruin... it feels like every ending, because after we played, we were like, okay, let's look up what all the other endings are, because we know there's more than one.
Yeah.
So we looked them up. All of them suck. All of them have no explanation.
Yeah.
And one of them, the best one out of them all, is the one where like the little like mimic, it's like chasing you, and then you guide it into the scooper
And you
room.
actually see it dressed in like a mascot costume. It's, like,
yeah, and it's
apart.
dressed into something. That's like, it's like, oh, a sign of something.
Yeah.
But there is nothing in the game that was apparent to me that made me link up to that character or to that thing at all.
And then it gets scooped, and you destroy it, and then it ends.
And that's it.
And it's like,
what happened?
yeah, it's like she came down here to save Gregory. So you don't get an ending there if you get
you
that
don't get
one.
that.
Or you don't get a closure there if you get that ending. You don't see if Cassie escapes the pizzeria. So that's just like,
And she clearly can't, because she's literally in like the middle of fuck ass nowhere.
She's locked in a room in the deepest part, and then fades to black. Then there's the neutral ending, the one we got, where you come down, you see that Gregory, who's been calling you down the whole game, isn't Gregory. It's a robot called the Mimic that's pretending to be him, and then you run away. And then the real Gregory's like, no, get in this elevator, I'll help you. And then Gregory gets in, and they're like, we can't risk anyone following us back, or the Mimic following us. So, and then he drops you down an elevator and kills you. But maybe not, because Roxy
you hear
talks.
Roxy, which also was deactivated earlier in the scene, like literally in the scene right before this whole ending.
So it's like we get to see that, like, oh, Gregory, or it wasn't Gregory the whole time, you've been tricked. But then the real Gregory pops up on a speaker out of nowhere, like, no, I've been trying to call you all night. And then he just kills you. So it's not satisfying.
But it also doesn't explain how Gregory can have access to talk to you on the overhead speakers of the facility.
It's implied when he says friend. I assumed he was talking about Freddy, but apparently he was talking about Vanessa. Apparently him and Vanessa are friends now. They were trying to keep the glitch trap, or the Mimic, contained down there. So, and it was trying to get you to disable the security nodes
so it could escape. I knew that.
And so it's implied that Gregory and Vanessa, I guess, are the ones who set up those security nodes to keep the Mimic trapped inside there. But I'm like, why is this 20-year-old woman friends with this fucking 8-year-old?
Well, this takes place like what, a year later?
But then I'm like, well, which ending of the old one was the official one? Because I don't want to go back and play it. But then they have the other ending where it's like you're running, and then as you're running to the exit, you just turn around and find a hidden hole, and there's a big Freddy standee, and you press E on it, and it shows you a comic book of like Vanessa by a tree and Gregory looking at the screen. Oh
yeah, and like Helpy is there, which is like the little tutorial like helper thing.
Apparently that's supposed to symbolize like her in her last moments picturing all she wants, like panicking and picturing like the perfect like end scenario.
Oh yeah, because she's like also going like
yeah
the whole time.
And then it ends, and it's like nothing. All three of these could have been like combined into a cool ending somehow with the actual conclusion on what happens to Cassie.
I guess like,
you know what? Not showing us what happens to Cassie would be fine if it were treated as a cliffhanger, but it's not. It's just treated as fade to black. That's the end. At
least for like the Scooper one and the comic one, it was. For the one with Roxy, at least Roxy saying something makes it a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not enough. It's too vague. There's not enough context for you to like understand or leave it up to interpretation. Like there's it's you just take it as it is, and you just wait. And you feel kind of like fucked out of a game because all you did was just press up and then press shift occasionally and hold down E. You didn't do anything. The gameplay is like, it's so boring. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's no explanation as to why Chica is the way that she is. There's no explanation as to why Roxy is the way that she is. There's no explanation as to why Roxy came back. There's no explanation where the Mimic came from.
Point, and they make a big deal out of you disabling her.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later she comes in and saves you. And
it's like this touching moment.
It's like, why am I supposed to care about the fact that I had to disable her earlier if she's still fine?
See, that's the thing is the game felt so empty. For as much as they did, it felt hollow.
And it wasn't like bad, by the way.
No,
I wouldn't call it bad.
I wouldn't say it was bad.
I would just say
it pissed me off because it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it's that thing where you're like, okay, now it's gonna get good. Now it's gonna get into it. Now it's gonna get into it.
Dude, there was a certain point where we were halfway through, and Mark, you were like, I think we're halfway through. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what? Nothing has happened.
Yeah.
There was no threat. I think the hardest part of that game was what was the one we had the most trouble with?
It was the music, man. But that's because I felt like the game's AI was so like it was so different every time. It felt like every time I'd get into it, I would walk up to the computer and I would go on it and they'd come over and kill me. But then the next time I'd walk over, go on the computer, and they would just not even realize I'm there.
Do you think that's like a thing? Like, you know how like in Smash Brothers, like if you're doing worse, they give you like a little smash ball or something?
I think it's
like
just,
it's like, oh, here, you need help.
I think it's just a thing where the game has like just a set radius for where the guys can detect you. So if you just happen to walk over when one of them's doing their cycles around in the wrong way, which you can't really tell because it's like they're all so close to each other. So if one just happens to like touch your hitbox or like the box in which they can see you, you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's just, even then, it's not fun.
Yeah.
But the game doesn't need to be that. The game just needs to have a cool story that implies lore.
The reason why I liked the first 3 Five Nights at Freddy's was because there was lore in a game that was challenging, but it wasn't challenging in a way where it's just like the only challenge in this Five Nights at Freddy's was just patience. It was literally just be like anticipation. That was your challenge. Like you would get like, it's like make believe scary.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll play sound effects to
it's
like
you're
simulate
walking
something
around,
happen.
It's like you're walking around on a little Haunted Mansion ride.
Yeah, and you know what else? A very good example. When we were running away from the final boss, there was a point where I stopped and I turned around and he was far ass behind, but the audio made it seem like he was right there. And it's like this is fake. This isn't a real challenge.
Scary.
Yeah, it's not. You're not actually trying. Like this isn't scary. And you know what? It's a good comparison to Outlast. Because Outlast is a thing where you're literally pressing up and shift and E.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just holding down the mouse to do tasks. But there is, like, it's not scary because of how it looks. It's scary because of how quick it is, how fast they run, how quick they can catch you.
Yeah, you feel like there is a sense of, like, randomness to it.
Yes.
You know, even though there's clearly not.
It's not that simple. FNAF felt so simple.
Yeah, it felt like, oh, go over here and go to camera 2 and make a noise so Roxy goes to 2, then go to 3 and make a noise so she goes to 3, then go to 4 so she goes to 4, and then you're done. Then she disappears so that you don't have to deal with her until the next time she's needed in the story.
Do you think it's just a thing because it's like, oh, this is made for kids? Like, this isn't made for us. This is made for kids.
Partially, but I also think it's just a thing of people don't really play those games for the gameplay, I think. They are more than satisfied to just sit down, hold the W key, and let the like spooks and scares and the voices of the characters talking about the mimic like just come in at quick enough intervals to where they're always like, wait, what is it? What are they talking about? What is this implication? You see Bonnie's arm? That's Bonnie's arm. What? We never see that before.
If you think about it, it is why Five Nights at Freddy's got popular.
It is, and I get it.
Yeah, I get
again,
it.
It wasn't even bad. I thought the story was fine, even though the mimic is a really lazy way to like put a band-aid over the fact that like everyone was shitting on you bringing back William Afton at the end of Security Breach. It's like, well, it wasn't actually him though. It was the mimic.
Can you show me a picture of what he looks like in the game?
Burn Trap?
Yeah.
Burn Trap is, I think it's the unofficial name, but it probably was adopted into the official one.
Just because of fans.
Just because of fans. They do that a lot. I think Golden Freddy is also a fan name. That's Burn Trap.
But he doesn't... It looks cool. The face looks cool. The body is like kind of lazy.
But doesn't it look like a little Fisher Price character?
Yeah. It just looks like Bonnie. It's like, obviously I get it. Obviously, because he was in the Golden Bonnie outfit or whatever. The Springtrap outfit or whatever.
But
I get it.
Springtrap doesn't look like Bonnie.
Yeah, Springtrap doesn't look like Bonnie. But this looks like Terrifier Bonnie.
The baby thing to me comes from the fact that it's like there's such a lack of detail, you know? It looks like Sonic Lost World. Where it's like, that's Springtrap, you know? Look at how much details in him.
Springtrap looks scary.
And then you look at that.
That's what I'm saying. His face, the face part looks fine. It's the fact that they don't add like rotting flesh and like bone and like decay, actual real decay, like to his body, I think is why it looks lame. The Springtrap looks good because there's so much of his suit, but all the inner stuff is like, it's so gross and...
Yeah, it looks like
unpleasant.
slimy.
Yeah, it looks gross. It looks rotting.
And his texture has so much detail, where Springtrap does not look like he makes sense. Like, already in the movie, Springtrap, you can tell they had issues with how to translate him into live action.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't look accurate, but he looks cool and he looks scary. That's, like, there is, like, an uncanniness to him.
You know what it is maybe they made him out of felt rather than something that... Because
they made him out of felt in the movie.
Yeah, when you look at Springtrap, you don't really see felt. You see, like...
You see, like, hardened plastic.
What I see is, like, felt that has, like, gotten wet from blood. That's, like... slicked down
Sunken
and
in.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like flattened and like sweat. You know what I mean? Like it does no longer has that fluffy texture to it. It's just gross.
I always either thought of that or like the outer shell of an animatronic.
Yeah, like plastic or like
plastic,
rotting metal or something, or rusting metal.
But then you see the part of the trailer in the movie, and he has like the little felt thing coming up out of him from the light, and it's like I get it because it is a mascot
and
suit.
It's cheaper.
But I guess you can kind of get away with that kind of stuff in a video game better than in a live action movie.
True, yeah.
But either way, Ruin. Not my thing. I'm glad people like it, though.
1 out of 10 Baba Booies. What do you give Ruin?
I give it like a 6.5.
Yeah, I would give it a 6.5 too.
It wasn't bad.
Mediocre.
It was fine. Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Help Wanted 2. Help Wanted 1 is super scary. The VR one?
Dude, I can't even get through the menu. Like, VR in general for me terrifies me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could have finished it, dude.
I didn't. I
thought you did.
Anytime I streamed it, I would always just play the CM missions over and over again.
The little vent.
The first event one and like the first couple nights of all the games.
You little girl, like we should do it.
It's terrifying. She just talked about how it was scary.
I know.
As soon as you put the VR helmet on and you realize, because watching it on a screen or playing it on the screen is not the same.
Yeah, but you kill cockroaches. You're a man. You could do it.
When you put it on though, and you see them fucking towering over you, it's like holy shit, this is real. You know?
How much would you have to get paid to stick your head out of the window so Foxy can come and get you?
Because I can anticipate it, I would do it.
You do it? How much?
For nothing.
Really?
I'm just sticking my head out, you know.
Okay.
But like the first time you would play that would terrify you.
Yeah.
Because the game has such little movement that you actually seeing them move for a
second.
You
know what? Let's ask David if we can borrow.
Okay, well, guys.
You know what? That's our next game. It's gonna be Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted.
If this video gets 100 likes.
No, if this video gets 100,000 views.
If this video gets 100 billion views.
If we get the Mr. Beast billions.
If Mr. Beast comments on this video.
Mr. Beast likes, comments, and subscribes to this video.
We will play this. We will play FNAF VR on.
But we will both play it. I won't just leave it up to Mark.
Yeah,
I'll have a try. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's easier to play with other people.
Yeah.
Okay,
oh my god! That game is fucking scary.
It is
dude.
Scary.
Even Beat Saber scares me.
It's just the atmosphere.
Oh my god! One time I was at JXC and Tomar's, and we were playing VR games, and they were like Itch.io VR games, I think, or whatever. But there was one in particular that was like a haunted house maze. And it's procedurally generated and things just come at you randomly. And it's a maze. You're just going, you have to get through the maze as fast as you can. Oh my God, it was the scariest shit ever. And it's like really low quality, like little zombies or whatever. But dude, it's so terrifying in VR.
VR is spooky. You know what though? When we were in Canada at her friend Christina's house.
Oh yeah.
We played Resident Evil 4 VR, and that was a lot of fun.
Shout out to Christine and Dima.
I would play that game in VR any day over the original version.
Yeah, honestly, Resident Evil 4 in VR was awesome. The only downside though, VR makes me sick.
Headache.
Yeah, it fucks my head up.
And like I can play for around 2 hours.
Imagine, how do you think someone's experience would be being like on shrooms in VR?
That would be terrifying.
Would that be terrifying or would it be epic?
It depends. What are you putting on in VR?
I guess what? I guess VR chat. You're just interacting with people.
That would be spooky. You would feel like everyone's looking at you.
You wouldn't know what to expect. But you wouldn't feel like everyone's looking at you because physically you don't feel like everyone's looking at you.
I feel like you couldn't tell how you'd know.
I guess you're right. Yeah. How could you know? Your reality shifted.
Like if you put on something like just anything colorful, like any game, I feel like it would get so overstimulating that you would get like a headache quicker. Or do you think you'd be so caught up in it that you wouldn't even notice you have a headache? Well, okay. Certain things that you focus on start shifting, right? Obviously, people are like, it's not a thing where it's like, oh, I see cartoon characters. Not like that. Yeah, I don't see Jimmy Beast running there.
Yeah, you don't see like Mr. Bean.
Running
away. But it's a thing where it's like you just see like textures moving, or you see like certain things like waving.
Colors are enhanced.
Yeah, colors are super bright.
Enhanced.
Chromatic abrasion to everything. Maybe like a weird VHS filter, like a fuzzy weird like static.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at something that has like lights in it in front of you for your eyes, right? You can sometimes when you look at your phone really close, you could see like the pixels, right?
Yeah.
The light pixels. So maybe it's a thing where those get translated just into moving objects. So what you're seeing, all of it is just moving.
That would be cool.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I always thought, what would it be like playing it like a video game or something, like doing that, like.
What video game would you play? Sonic?
Sonic Heroes. I don't know.
You play Sonic Heroes?
Or like a really fast one, like.
You wouldn't be scared. You wouldn't be scared that like taking a mind-altering substance while playing your favorite video game from your childhood.
Like, hate it.
Well, yeah, would make you like turned off to it forever.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No.
You don't think that you would like associate a new feeling with the game?
No, I don't think so.
That's fair.
I think I'd forget about it.
That's my fear. I would never want to do shrooms and play Donkey Kong Country.
In case you hated it.
In case I would notice something that would make me not like it like as much anymore. You know.
Would get the game over.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like oh fuck no, I would, dude.
In a dark room.
I think that would be my actual nightmare. I think that I would like sob.
That would be, yeah, okay, guys. If this video gets 200 billion likes,
I'll watch the Donkey Kong Country game over and take a bunch of shrooms. What?
If this video gets 200 million likes, guys, we're gonna go to our storage container. We're gonna have it no lights in there, completely dark. We're gonna put a little CRT television in there, and we're gonna have Veronica playing Donkey Kong Country, and we're gonna completely put like a plastic container over the off switch, so if she gets the game over, she can't turn off the TV.
That is so cruel.
And she has to sit there in the dark with
and
that on.
You can't exit that screen until you press start. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
On
I don't know.
shrooms.
Someone in my yeah. Oh God.
And then we'll video it. We'll put a ring camera in the
on
room.
crystal meth. Fuck no.
Yeah, someone
That's
do that
terrifying.
as a fun experiment.
What would be yours? What, like, I guess you on shrooms with a bunch of tarantula cases, and then I tell you one of them is open, find out which one it is, and close it before they escape.
Oh, that is much worse.
How is that worse?
Guys, would you rather be alone in a room with a bunch of tarantulas or a Donkey Kong game over screen?
Tarantulas don't hurt you.
Yes, they can.
No, they don't. We'll make sure they're non-venomous tarantulas.
I'm sitting in a dark room where I can't see where I'm stepping.
Yeah.
And if I feel something like...
There's little cases. You just have to find the one case that's open.
So there is one...
Yeah. No, it's not out. It's just the case is open. You got to find it and close it before it gets out.
That is way worse than a Donkey Kong game over screen.
That is the same kind of trauma, Mark. It's the same.
What a baby. What a baby.
Well, what a baby. Why don't you... I could sit in a room with tarantulas. I'd be fine. What a baby.
I could sit in a room with a Donkey Kong game over screen.
Exactly. So we'll both do it, and we'll videotape. We'll have 2 GoPros with two dark lights.
No way.
No, you don't want to do it. I would do it if you'd do it.
No, I would not do it.
Oh, okay.
I would not even want to know that you were in a room full of like that.
What do you mean?
That'd be too creepy.
What if I was in a room full of tarantulas?
Yeah.
Why?
They're crawling all over you.
What if I was like, da, da, da. I didn't care.
Would
you look at me differently?
What if you got in, you started doing it, and they started crawling all over you, and you were like, da, 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 and then I was like, Veronica, I tricked you. I actually filled it with cockroaches.
That would be so horrible.
What would you do?
That would be so horrible.
You know what I think about? Because you were talking about that earlier, and in my head, it's like, I never really had much of an association with cockroaches because they don't really have them in Ireland.
Yeah.
But then I was reminded that what really made me like, oh, those are associate them with gross stuff is Billy and Mandy. I never watched that show, but I think I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and in one of them, Billy's like taking a shower, and then I think someone like replaces the water with cockroaches.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it's like a little shadow of himself like a silhouette of him in the shower, and he like opens his mouth, and they all start going in his mind.
I was telling Mark, Mark like Freudian uncovered the reason why I hate cockroaches so much, and it's because of the Powerpuff Girls episode where the cockroach man has all the cockroaches and he takes over the town and he fucking covers them with cockroaches. Like, that grossed me out so much as a kid. I think that's why I'm just like, fucking, oh no.
You think anyone who like doesn't know of either of us and like are just finding this on their Apple Podcasts or Spotify or something's like, oh, an animation podcast, I'll click on this, and they click on like a bunch of episodes and there's like never any talk of animation. Do you think they're like, fuck this, or do you think they're like, oh,
we
God.
never specifically said this was only animation?
The whole theme, the description is like we
Meeting
interview.
halfway with people. You know what's funny is I thought about the same thing like a week ago.
Yeah.
I was like, why are we called Meeting Halfway now?
Well,
no, we have other people we've been meaning to reach out.
We've just been busy.
We've been really busy, and since the road trip, we've been trying to like ground ourselves for a while.
Yeah, with the road trip, it was like what, 6 or 7 guest ones in a row.
Yeah.
So
for 3 weeks, traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a couple other people. I think we talked about some guests like way
Matt Browley
earlier ago. That we got in contact with, but by the time we were going to meet up with them, we would be going on the road trip, so we just couldn't do it. We need to like follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, when we're when we're done with everything.
I think after August we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're always looking for new guests.
True.
Mr. Beast, wink.
Jimmy
wink.
Beast. We love Feastables. We actually do.
We saw a little kid buying a Feastable bar in Walmart today.
It's always really funny when you see that, like, or when people like get Prime.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
The little TikTok of the kids with the Prime.
You know, the 3 kids at the 3 different Primes. Mark and I go to 7-Eleven. It's like down the road from us.
Yeah.
We go there all the time, almost every night. Almost. Sometimes we go somewhere else. Whatever, we get donuts or whatever. But we always get the Feastable bars. It's always the same thing. And the guy at the cash register is like caught on.
He's like, oh, Feastables, huh?
He's like, oh, you like Mr. Beast, huh? And he's like, oh, getting Mr. Beast today, huh?
It's just, it's literally, you know what it is? All chocolate to me here is shit, and I recognize Mr. Beast's face.
So it makes you happy.
No, it doesn't make me happy.
It makes you feel like a millionaire.
No, it just makes you like, oh, I recognize that. I'll just grab that.
Really? You don't look at like Reese's or you don't look at like Butterfingers?
We don't have Reese's in the UK.
Oh.
We don't have Butterfingers
That's right.
in the UK.
It's Nestle. You guys don't have Nestle.
We do have Nestle. We just don't have Reese's.
Just kidding.
We have Nestle make I think Nestle make Smarties and stuff like that. For us.
Like the little M&M chocolate bars.
They're not chocolate bars, but they're chocolate like M&Ms. Nestle do.
You know what? I'm thinking of the actual M&M chocolate bars. Do you remember those?
No.
That's right.
We don't get a lot of what you get. We have M&Ms.
Imagine a Hershey's bar, but they have little mini M&Ms in them.
They did that for Smarties for a while, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best
Isn't
thing
it?
ever. Yeah.
Except yours is different than ours. Yours is probably way better than ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Irish chocolate is so much better than American chocolate.
And it's a lot of UK chocolate, honestly. Watching Sunny TM's Twitch streams give you cancer.
Full-blown leukemia.
Yeah.
But
Not buying Mr. Beast bars give you cancer.
True. Mr. Beast.
He put the antidote specifically in the Beast bars.
It's like a saw trap.
In the crunch ones specifically.
The antidote is in the crunch wraps.
Dude, they should make Mr. Beast make a video where you're recreating a saw.
Dude,
we
talked
got
about
100 people into a saw trap. I'm going to make them escape or they die. And if they win, they get freedom.
That would be so awesome, Mr. Beast. You should.
Mr. Beast just got a bunch of people who are like willing to throw away their life.
All of a sudden, you see gas coming into our room. We wake up.
The little monitor turns on.
Little Jimmy
arcade
Beast.
turns on.
Little Carl Jacobs on the screen.
He's talking to the camera right now. We look over.
He's in one of the saw traps too.
What?
What would you do if we were walking down the road and we walked past a little school and there's 4 little like a cappella little boys going Five Nights at Freddy's?
I take a video of them.
Of all 4 of them,
like all the Timmies.
Yeah, like the Timmies. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
I love the big band Five Nights at Freddy's song.
Oh, it's so good.
Guys, look it up. It's the 8-bit big band.
Big band.
Yeah, or the 8-bit band, I think it is what it's called, and it's their Frank Sinatra cover of the Five Nights at Freddy's Living Tombstone song.
It's great.
And if you like the Living Tombstone one, knocks it out of the water.
Definitely.
If you don't like the Living Tombstone one, completely different.
So
way
you
better.
will like it, yeah. I think it's a thing where it's kind of like, you know how I hurt myself today.
Yeah.
What's his name? Johnny Cash. He took the 9 Inch Nails song "Hurt" and he made it his own. I feel like the Frank Sinatra version of Five Nights at Freddy's
different.
It's different and better. No offense.
No offense,
but it is a great song, honestly, and the lyrics are great too. So
the lyrics predicted everything.
They did. Living Tombstone kind of based.
So guys, tune in next time. We'll never. Okay, I was gonna say when the thing is in the corner, but it's not gonna be. Okay, guys.
Trying to steal my corner.
No, I genuinely forgot, guys. Next podcast, there might be. On this podcast, there might be a photo right here of me standing next to it in a storage unit, and just know in every podcast, just imagine that is in the corner.
Until I put something better.
And also imagine there's a Sonic the Fighters over there too. That's just out of frame.
Oh, one of these days
we'll get a big enough lens.
We'll get a big enough lens.
We need to get lights too to put on the hedges. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. I wanted to start the podcast like that earlier, then I had the arcade machine idea. So guys, subscribe to Markiplier. donate to Markiplier's Patreon. And don't forget to always watch Super Mega more than 10.
Put that in the beginning right now.
No, put that at the end.
You're going to leave this in?
No, don't put it in the end at all.
You fucking cheeky little bastard. You know what? Just block all of that out and put a black censor bar over Mark's mouth. Nobody will know what he's talking about.
Yeah, have it continue now whenever I'm saying this. Too.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See you later.
Bye, guys.